Welcome to
Topnotch
Tuesdays with
Brenda Stewart,
Jaime Huddleston. Hey y'all, we're so excited that you are tuning in to us again because we're having so much fun doing this.
We're here. We're back.
We're back. We had a lot of questions when Drew was on. If you did not see those last two episodes, we have two different segments because it was so informative and so good. We had to break
so much.
And so much. But Drew is literally a mortgage genius.
He is.
I mean, he just is. So anyway, but we wanted to break down some of the loans in chunk size pieces for people. And so today, Brenda and I decided we were going to go over FHA loans.
Yes.
Because
first-time home buyers.
Right. Because FHA is really a popular loan for first-time home buyers.
Yes. It's one of the best programs out there.
It is. And I'm also an FHA appraiser.
Yes.
So, we can cover all that kind of stuff, like what kind of house and everything. Mm-hmm. But first of all, let's go over what FHA is. So FHA loans are mortgages that are insured by the Federal Housing Administration, FHA. It's a government loan, y'all. I mean, pretty much.
Backed by the government.
Backed by the government. Mm-hmm. It's part of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. Yes. And we already said, they're popular among the first-time home buyers. And why is that?
Well, they're just a good program. They have less amount down. Your credit score doesn't have to be as high. They just have different loan limits. Oh, sorry. They just have different loan limits that other programs don't offer. Conventional is usually 10% down. I mean, there are some that are a little less, but it's usually 10% down and a higher credit score.
It's hard for a first-time home buyer to get 10% down anymore. I mean, let's talk about Delta County. What's the average sales price right now? Off the top of your head, because I got to think about Hopkins.
I know.
God, it's so high now.
I know. Well, the thing about it is,
I was just in Delta County appraising. I was like, what?
Well, it's so hard to tell you in Delta County because we don't have the little neighborhoods like y'all have. Mm-hmm. I mean,
right.
It could be $400,000 if you're talking about a house with land, but it could be $195,000 for a house in town.
Yeah, let's talk about this when you're an appraiser in Delta County. Hey, the creativity is real.
Chris Diamond told me that for years, baby. We know.
Chris Diamond and I, we laugh about that.
Oh.
I'm like, you going to Delta County?
Yeah, you ought to see the surveyors. They spend days at the courthouse.
But it's okay because the thing is,
hey, we've got a great community.
Oh God, we can go on and on about Delta County every time we're here. I'm like I love you, Delta County, but I can always.
And we're really sorry about
your phone. Okay.
We're really sorry about your luck, you and Chris Diamond, but
I can always find comps there. This is the thing about appraiser. I just want to say this. It's the appraiser that can find the comps and make the correct adjustments. Mm-hmm. And I know for sure Chris Diamond and I know for sure myself, we do. Uh-huh. And we know what we're doing.
Yep.
I have no doubt. I'm very confident. So if people get scared of that county, it's because, why are they scared? Because they're not competent in that area in Delta County. But I am. I know I am. So, and sometimes I call my good friend Brenda over here and say, hey.
I can just, sometimes I really can't
I'm in
tell
Delta
you
County.
I'm
making
exactly
this adjustment.
What it's going to bring, yeah.
Well, and then there's like no pictures inside the comp. And I'm like, Brenda, what'd that house look like? Because there's no pictures. They threw one up there, sold in one day. Oh, it was redone, James. It was really nice. It had granite and vinyl. And you would have just loved this house, Jamie. You would have loved it. And I said, okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you.
My daughter-in-law says I talk like that. I don't know.
James, you would have loved it.
James, you would have loved it.
It was so precious.
That's right.
It was the cutest little house. Oh, and you know who bought it? The cutest little couple. Oh my gosh, and I just love their baby. I love their baby. I'm going to babysit that baby on Friday. I told them that I would so they could go out to eat.
Yes, I'm
okay, Brenda, I got to do my appraisal now. Call your new friend. Bye. I'm sure that's how Chris Diamond feels too when he calls you.
Hey, he likes me.
I can't tag him. He's not on social media, and there's a reason. He doesn't do social media. He doesn't give out his cell phone number. He has a work cell phone number. Only his peeps get his personal. Yeah. But anyway, He is one of my most favorite appraisers, one of my most favorite colleagues, by the way. I love being able to call him because he's a genius in appraisals. He is a genius. But anyway, so FHA, let's get back to that. Less than perfect credit. So some of y'all are first-time homebuyers and you're like, well, what is our credit score even supposed to be? I'm sure you're thinking that, right? Well, you need to keep up with your credit score. It's important. And I'm going to drop some links down so you can go to the correct place, because there's a lot of credit people on Google that are not correct. You get a free annual report every year. That's all three: TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. It's free once a year. Now, during COVID, they were doing free once a month.
Yeah.
Which was crazy to me, but it's free once a year. You're able to download it and print it. Okay. Now there are some paid ones that help you. Okay. Let's talk about Experian real quick. I just want to go over this. There is this thing called Experian Boost. It is free. It's an app. Okay. You link your bank account and the bills you pay, like rent, things that are not traditional credit, utilities, your cell phone payment, insurance, all that stuff that you pay on time through your bank account, it goes to your Experian Boost and it boosts your score. It's free, right? If you want to pay for Experian, I will link that. You can, and you can see all three. Now, in order to boost, just remember though, that's only boosting Experian. Some lenders use Experian, some use TransUnion,
some use Equifax,
some use all three.
And some use two of them
to derive the FICO score. So it's a very subjective topic. I suggest to you really do your homework on credit, because it's all about your utilization. Okay. On credit cards, like you have to keep below 28% of your utilization.
And don't close them or cancel.
Do not close or cancel. Lord have mercy. Okay. So let's talk about this real quick, because this is first time home buyers and they do need to know, but we can talk about it briefly. So if you have a credit card that has $100 limit, $100, you should not be using more than $28 on that credit card. I don't care that you have $100 limit. It doesn't matter.
You have to keep a certain percent.
Then as soon as you, let's say, okay, you use $28 for gas, for fuel.
Yep.
Okay. You pay it off.
Yep.
Pay it off. Like as soon as you see it on your credit card statement, just pay it off.
And don't keep a zero balance.
No,
go
and then
charge
another
hamburger
and go charge another $28 or another $25. Keep below 28. Do your research on this. This will make your credit score
go up
and up and up. But typically, okay, what lenders like to see is a 680. That they feel like that's good, right? You're paying things on time. Really, the best credit score you can have is an 850, I believe, or is it 830?
830, I think.
830? Okay. So an 830 is the most perfect credit. Now, the
but
lowest...
FHA, you can do a 580 credit score.
Right. And then the lowest credit score is like a 300, right? So it can range from 300 to 830. Lenders like to see a 680. Really, they like to see about a 715, 720 because they really know you are good.
Yep.
You know, you're paying your bills. They can tell. But...
most first-time home buyers... no, let me not say that. Most people buying their first home are younger people, and they don't have a lot of credit built up.
Right, they just don't.
Yes.
Their parents paid for everything.
Well, I mean, they were kids, and so you take that and you build on that. You go, like she said, you go with the credit card, you buy something, you pay it off, you buy something, you pay it off, you buy something, you pay it off.
That's the fastest way to repair something.
And it builds your credit up. People think, oh, well, I just, I've never bought anything. I have one car. And well, then you probably don't have but a 300 or 400 credit score because that's all you pay. Credit is based on your activity.
Your activity.
Good or bad.
Consistently.
Good or bad.
Right.
You don't pay it, it goes down.
Right.
You pay it, it goes up.
But you can also fix it very quickly too. It's I'm saying it's so subjective. Unless you file for bankruptcy. That's another topic that takes generally, but you can still buy a house if you file for bankruptcy. I know Drew told me, like, even if they filed bankruptcy 2 years ago or something, he can still help them get financed. Him and I were discussing that. That's another topic.
Yeah,
it's not first time home buyers. We're going on. But the thing is, you have to be consistent and you've got to show that activity. You've got to be, you need to know the knowledge of your own credit score. Don't be scared. If you're scared, you don't know. Don't live in fear.
That's right.
Right? We don't live in fear. We live in, okay, now I have the knowledge and now I'm going to correct this.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to tell anybody. Keep it to yourself. Who cares? Just know what you've got to do to get there. And there's also like this really cool thing through Austin Bank, and you can do it for a business credit too. But like you set up a savings account through them. It reports to all 3 credit bureaus. I'm going to link that too because I love this program. And you deposit $30 a month into the savings account. Well, they put you can decide if you want it on 1 year, 2 years, terms, whatever. Well, at the end of that term, like let's say you took out $2,000. It's considered a loan, but they're automatically taking it from your checking account to fill up your savings.
Oh, cool.
And it's reporting to all 3 credit bureaus. I love that it's for business credit because business credit's hard to build, but we're not going to get into that. We know that. But we'll get into that another time for our investors. But the thing is, then at the end of the 2 years, you have that $2,000 savings. And you get to pull it and you get to spend it for something. But in the meantime, you also built your credit.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's a good
thing. They
thing.
do charge a little bit of interest for it, but it wasn't that much. Like, I don't know. But anyways, I'll link that. But it's really great for first-time people trying to build that credit score. Anyway, moving on. So, Brenda, FHA loans typically require a minimum down payment of 3.5%.
Mm-hmm. True.
So if I say hey, Brenda, I want to buy a house, $100,000. How much do I have to come up with down payment?
$3,500.
$3,500.
No, that's not right.
Yeah, that is right.
Oh, that's right.
We're doing 100,000 because it's easy. I didn't want to bring my calculator. So 100,000 times 3.5% is $3,500. But with FHA, that can be sourced from the borrower's own funds that you saved up, and the lender's going to want to see where you saved that. You can't just throw $3,500 cash in the bank. Okay. They want to know where it came from. They need to see a consistent, like I got paid and I put $100 in my savings every month.
Yes, can't be mattress money.
Nope, no mattress money, not with the government.
Mm-mm.
We're talking about the government today.
And then if you get it from a family member, you have to have all that documented.
Right. So if your mom and dad say, "Hey, we want to give you the $3,500," that's wonderful. Mm-hmm. It's precious. I mean, of course, parents want to do whatever they can for their kids, but there has to be a gift letter in place that your parents sign saying that they are gifting it to you. The lender has the gift letter. Okay.
And sometimes they want your parents' bank statements.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
I ran into that twice that the mom was like, "I'm not giving you my bank statement." I'm like, "Well, I got to show that you gave it to Billy."
But she can give it to the lender though.
That she wouldn't.
Confidentiality.
She wouldn't though. That's what I'm saying. She said, "I'm not part of the loan and I'm not sharing it." And I'm like, "But you gave it to Billy. So Billy needs to show that you gave it to him."
Just know that everything's confidential when it comes to lending.
It is. Uh-huh.
Like, it's kind of like when you go to the doctor with the HIPAA law. Same thing with lending.
Yes.
They can't be telling people your stuff.
That's right.
Just like we are fingerprinted with the state.
Yep.
Lenders are fingerprinted. When we go into a house, we are fingerprinted for a reason. Appraisers are too.
Mm-hmm.
Home inspectors, all of us. We are like background checked, fingerprinted, all that. So just know all of this is confidential.
And our listing agreements say that. They specifically say we will not share your information with anybody.
Give me 5. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Brenda doesn't want to yell. We have to be professional.
Oh, sometimes I want to yell.
We have to be professional.
Shut up.
What's my song I want to sing?
I don't know, James.
Shamil.
Shamazel.
Topnotch Incorporated. We're gonna do it. I love it. I love it. I mean, who doesn't love Laverne and Shirley? Okay, if you're a first-time home buyer, you have no idea probably who Laverne and Shirley are, but I remember watching that show after school every day. Oh my gosh! And then my sister was Shelly, and she'd have that sweater with the S.
Yes, yes,
so cute. Anyway, okay, moving on. And Happy Days. I loved Happy Days.
Oh, I know.
And Lassie.
Fonzie. I never watched Lassie.
Oh, I love Lassie.
I know, but it was just so sad.
You know, my brother-in-law was supposed to be Steve. Donna's husband was supposed to be Lassie. I mean, it was supposed to be Timmy.
Really?
Timmy.
Really?
Yes, it's a long story. Oh, we got to have him on here one day. He's so cool. He's a cool cat.
We will.
Okay. Anyways, borrowers are required to pay an upfront mortgage insurance premium. Brenda, would you like to go over that or me?
You.
Okay, so when they're saying borrowers are required to pay an upfront mortgage insurance premium, an annual mortgage insurance, MIP, which can be included in the monthly mortgage payment. This really needs to be spoke to from your lender. But what I will tell you is there's a percentage, and I can't remember because FHA and VA lowered the percentage for the MIP, and I don't remember.
Is it still?
How
Is it not
much?
20%?
No. It's what? No, because it was like 1.7. Now it's down to 0.5 or something. For VA, it went down, like, because you have
the percentage that they pay.
Right, you have an upfront funding fee. It's a percentage of the sales price. So anyways, this is also, it's mortgaged in. So let's say $100,000 loan, and let's say I am correct about the 0.75 for FHA. I wish I would have double checked this, but I didn't. But let's just say $7,500. Check with your lender, because I could be wrong. I don't remember because I have so many numbers every day. So they take that $7,500 and they put that inside your mortgage. So you're not just financing $100,000. Now we add $7,500 to it. So now you have $107,500 for your mortgage. Okay.
And you pay mortgage insurance for anything under 80% of your under 80% of your loan.
Loan to value. So you didn't put 20% down.
So if you don't put 20% down, you're going to pay mortgage
right.
insurance.
Even PMI. Okay. So PMI with the conventional, but we're going to get into conventional the next time.
Okay.
But PMI is not the MIP. It's different. It's because you're not putting 20% down.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to pay that 20% down. Now, let me tell you though, what if we have a year like we've had in the last couple with COVID? You can ask to refinance that and see if you've got 20% equity in your house now to drop that MIP or that PMI.
That's right.
And we'll go over that in another segment. It's a good thing.
I didn't know it just started with COVID. I thought you could always
not with COVID. I meant like how the house prices jumped.
Oh, yeah.
I should have clarified.
Well, because people just gained equity without doing anything.
They
were like, I went to bed last night.
40% equity overnight.
Yeah, I went to bed last night. My house was worth $140.
And I didn't have to pay my MIP or PMI anymore. It came off my monthly payment.
I know.
Because that can be an extra $100 to your monthly payment. And then if the appraiser shows the equity when they do the appraisal for your lender, when you refi, it comes off your payment.
Yeah.
So I woke up and it was better than the stock market or whatever else, or the stocks I'm playing with today.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy. Yeah, I love real estate. It's so fun. Okay, anyway, FHA loans can be used for the purchase or, and I just said, refinance of a primary residence. And also offer options for energy efficient mortgages. Okay, and certain types of home improvements. Yes, because I don't want to confuse y'all with this though right now with the home improvements.
Good.
We don't need it'll be too much.
This is a first time home buyer. They're not.
I'm going to write a note. We'll go over FHA 203K B. No, not B.
203K.
203K later, because that's a lot. That's a whole podcast in itself. But just know that you have options. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's important to note that FHA loans may have certain property requirements, and borrowers should consider both the benefits and limitation of these loans before making a decision.
Okay, so when somebody comes to me and says, I want to buy a house, have you been approved? No, I was hoping you would help me. I tell them that there's three main products, USDA, and you have to be, where you're looking has to be USDA approved. Lamar County, inside Paris, is not USDA. Delta County is USDA countywide. Now, outside of Paris, there are areas that are USDA approved, FHA and conventional. When you go, and VA, of course, when you go FHA, USDA, and VA, that house has got to approve as well as the buyer.
That's right.
And now I'm going to turn this over to the appraiser and let her tell us what the house has to have and not have to be approved. Just because you can buy it doesn't mean the appraiser is going to clear that home without repairs.
That's right. Okay. Without going too much in depth with this, there are property minimum requirements with the FHA, VA, and USDA. Those are government-backed loans. There has to be property minimum requirements. These are online. They're public. Let's say you're buying a pier and beam home and the steps going up to it do not have handrails.
That's a hazard.
It's a safety issue. And I just said this to an agent yesterday because she had me go measure the house before she listed it because she wanted to make sure, because there was a new upstairs. So I measured it and I voice texted her and I said, hey, you didn't ask me your opinion, but I want to tell you because he's already done everything else. The house is remodeled. You need to put handrails on all these steps outside because an appraiser's fixing to call it and it can't go FHA, VA, or USCH. He goes, oh my gosh, thank you. And I said, yep, you're welcome. I said, I just hate for such a beautiful home.
Yes, and it doesn't have to be $1 million job.
No.
I've had them go out there the day of the appraisal.
It just has to be safe and sanitary. It doesn't matter. And if an appraiser calls out cosmetic things on a VA or an FHA, I'm going to tell y'all that's not okay. It's not about cosmetics. It's about safe and sanitary. The main two things that their home buyer that's buying this is receiving a safe and sanitary home, just like everybody.
Peeling paint and rotten wood is the most I get
Peeling
called.
paint, rotten wood, the septic.
Oh yeah,
which
septic.
That needs to be, an appraiser would call out and say, I need a trained, licensed septic inspector to come look at this. Because if he sees like leach lines are out somewhere or there's some stuff and he can tell, or she, because I'm an appraiser too. But anyways, you know, he or she can tell, then they're going to call that out and there's going to require an inspection. You, the home buyer, do not need to be upset about these things because they are protecting you.
That's right.
And the realtor can get mad all they want. Okay. You know, I tell realtors all the time, hey, I'm your friend. I love you, but I'm not going to jail for you. Okay. Because who's going to take care of my babies when I'm in jail? Because you're going to forget about them. I don't. So, you know, I do things the correct way, ethically and morally. I don't care if your realtor's mad about something. Okay. This is to protect you. That seller either fixes it or you and your realtor, trusted realtor, come to negotiations with the seller. Like, hey, I'll pay half, they'll pay half, you know, whatever the case may be to make this deal work.
And most realtors, good realtors, they can tell you before you ever go. You call them and tell them and say, hey, I want to look at 123 Hazelwood. And they're going to be like, baby, no.
It ain't going to go FHA. Ain't going to go VA.
And the sellers don't have the money to fix it.
Yep.
And you can't fix it legally. So, yeah, well, let's just don't even go look at that one.
Now, something like that, though, when we get into it, could go FHA 203K. Which you would get home improvement money for, close one time, usually, typically. And then the lender that is part of this 203K, I'll just tell y'all, will send the contractors out.
It's almost like a construction loan.
It is a construction loan. And they don't give them the money, the draw, until the third party, usually an appraiser or a realtor or something that they hire that does it, is non-biased, will go out and take pictures and send to the lender. Then the lender will send the contractor a check. It's really a great way to do things because things get done.
It is.
And they have to be a contractor on their approved list too, which I don't blame them. Because there's a lot of shady contractors out there just saying that'll just walk off the job. So, okay.
With your money.
With your money that you paid and you don't get it back. Wow. Whew. Anywho, but I was going to say one thing. FHA loans can be a purchase or refinance of a primary residence. Primary. That means your homestead.
You got to live there.
You got to live there.
Full time.
So if you wanted to buy, I was just telling Brenda, I love this part of this. If you wanted to buy a quadplex, okay, there's a brand new one that was just built. You can go FHA, put 3.5% down. If you don't have the closing cost, Brenda and I can help you negotiate those closing costs.
Yes, we can.
And where you don't have that money out, so you got a gift from your mom and dad, we helped you get the closing costs paid. Guess what? Zero money out of pocket at closing. So you have a quadplex. You have to live in one of those, okay?
That's your homestead.
That's your homestead. You rent out the other 3. Make sure you have a trusted realtor to help you with lease agreements, credit reports, things, so you have good tenants.
That would be her, not me.
Okay. Well, or Liz.
I'm good at it. Or Liz. Yeah.
Liz.
I'm just not good.
Liz is she is in property management. So Liz is really good about all this. Liz Woodworth, shouting her out. That's our girl.
She just called.
Well, we'll call her back. Bless her. I love her so much. Anyway, so those 3 rents, guess what? You can make your mortgage payment with those 3 rents. Is this so cool?
Yeah.
And you can pay off that whole thing. And guess what? You can keep this quadplex for later. You move out. And if you're a veteran, you can use your VA loan again, but we're not going to get VAs yet. FHA, you got to keep FHA on this, right? But you can move out and get a conventional because I'm sure you've been saving some money from all these rents. Now you have an investment property. Now you can move on to another home.
And you can refinance that into a conventional and then turn around and use your FHA loan on another house.
That's right. Or you can buy another quadplex.
Yeah.
And do the same thing. You just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And guess how many investment homes you have? And you need a good
Financial planner,
but also if you don't want to deal with tenants, like you want somebody like Liz,
you need a property manager.
That will manage those properties for you. Do they charge? Absolutely they charge because they have a big job. You're not being burdened with it. All you're doing is seeing the rent payment come in.
Yeah, that water heater goes out in the middle of the night.
You don't
They're
get
gonna call Liz.
They're going to call Liz and you're paying her to do that. But it's very worth it, I think. But you may not think so. Why don't you just, dip your toes in the water a little bit and then you might change your mind.
Like the people that want to sell their house themselves. Well, they're calling me on Sunday.
And I have to show it?
I know, I've got to show it. And can you help me write this contract?
But I don't know how to write this contract.
I know.
What do you mean? Like, I have to write the contract? And what else do I do? Like, they were saying they want a home warranty. What do you mean they want a home warranty? And they want closing costs paid. Well, what am I supposed to do about that? Oh, and they don't even know about their credit score. They don't even know what lender to use.
I know.
And seller's disclosures.
I know. Do I have to fill those out? No, give them to your dog, Skippy.
What do they do for a living? These people that want to do that, I'm just curious. What do they do? What's their expertise? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
I'm trying to think. Moving on. So anyways, I called Drew today, and he told me on FHA that the interest rates today, which they're down still, 6.25%. Wow.
They were 6 and 7% when I went into real estate in 2004, 5.
Yes. But what
people were buying
what
like
were they
crazy.
3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago? 5?
Oh God, they were in the 7s.
8. I thought they were the 8s.
They may have been for conventional, but I know FHA were in the 7s because I wrote 2 FHA contracts.
It was high 7s, right? Okay. And he also said that the 2 rate, can you say that?
The 2 down buy down is if you do it, okay, let's just say that you ask the seller to give you $5,000 in closing costs. And $2,500 of that, you found out from your lender, you can pay that to buy your rate down. Okay. So on a buy down, the first year that you start paying, your rate will be 4.25. The second year, your rate will be 5.25. And then the third year, your rate will be 6.25. So anytime during there, if they go down lower than what your rate is, you can always refinance into a 30-year fixed, just like your house.
Like at the 4 1/4 or
Done.
whatever.
Done.
You can refinance. Okay, it's such an awesome program, and that can be part of your closing costs that we help negotiate.
Yes.
To buy that rate deal.
Yes, but you and the seller will have to sign a form. I just got 2 of these this week that say that you are the one paying it down and that you agree to pay it down. I just got 2 from 2 lenders this week because we gave up closing costs and 2 of them ended up using part of that money for a rate buy down.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either until you just said that. Okay, cool.
I got 2 this week. And all it just said, explained it, what the rate buy down was. And then it said that I, the seller, am agreed to pay for this rate buy down. And that was it. We signed it and sent it back. And these guys got 2% off their interest rate.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. Well, anyways, I think that we've covered FHA. Do you?
I do.
I do too. Anyways, thank you so much for
if you have any
listening.
questions, call us.
Please email us, text us, comment on one of these, either Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube.
Y'all, we're the type of people, if we don't have the answer, we're going to get it.
Right. We'll
so don't
find
be
out.
afraid to ask us.
No, ever.
Because we're going to find out.
Because there is no dumb question ever. Ever.
You don't know till you know.
Because we didn't know that we need to go over things specifically until we started getting questions in from Drew when Drew was with us. And we were like, oh, wow, we need to break this down.
It's just so, like you explain it to people. And just like that guy on the phone a while ago, I know you heard him. And he said, I just never knew that going through a bank and getting a loan for a house was this complicated. It's only complicated because no one explained it to you.
Right. You didn't have the pre-knowledge.
Yes. And once I explained it to him, he was like, that's all it is? Yeah, that's all it is.
That's it.
Yeah, but they don't know. I mean.
And it's okay. You don't know what you don't know. We just know because we've been privy to the knowledge all these years.
That's right.
And we've had experience.
And I'm the world's worst about talking to someone and just because I know it, I feel like you should know it. You know, it's like your dad used to talk to you about the car. Just do this and this and this,
Right.
this. And you're like, I don't even know where that's at on
Check
the car.
your oil every day.
And that's the way I am about real estate. I sleep, eat, and breathe it. And so when I'm explaining something, a lot of times people go, okay, back up because you lost me. Well, I lose people anyway, but
That's like a nurse trying to tell me how to do an IV.
yeah, I mean, I
have
don't
no idea. What? What do you mean?
And I could talk about real estate all day, every day.
Exactly.
I love real estate.
That's like a hairstylist trying to tell me how to cut hair or color. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't
I
know.
don't have a clue.
Oh, Courtney talks all that stuff. Well, I got to use the M3. And
I
I'm
know, Shelly and Samantha, they're the same, my niece and sister, but they're like, oh, you need to use a toner number
yeah.
15.
And I'm like, a what?
I'm like, what?
Okay.
I don't know.
I take my dog scissors and go.
I know, right?
Courtney gets so mad at me. She's like, you had them scissors out again, haven't you? Because it's all like not right.
Bless it.
I know. I don't
Oh.
care. When it's in my eyes, I'm just going to have to do something about it. I'm very impatient.
Brenda.
I know.
Oh, my Lord, don't ever do that.
Oh, girl, she's found a 10-minute color.
Shelly would, one time,
She beats my head
one time.
because I'm like, are we through yet? Are we through? 2 fulls.
One time, oh my gosh, I got this color at Walmart in college. I got to tell you this.
Oh,
Well,
that was probably bad.
It turned me to Elmo orange. Like,
Mhm.
remember little Elmo?
Mm-hmm.
And I called Shelly. It's before FaceTime, of course. I'm on my BlackBerry or what? No. I didn't have a cell phone. This is my landline in college. I said, Shelly, I ruined my hair. And she goes, what did you do? And I said, I bought this box, Born to Be Blonde. And she said, my God, Jamie, my God. She goes, I'm buying you a ticket right now on Southwest. Come to Dallas tomorrow. I'll pick you up. She did. I drove to Amarillo. She picked me up at Love Field, and she took me directly to the hair. She said, fix this mess, because I'd been wearing a hat for like 3 days.
Yeah, it's bad when you mess up your hair. It's real bad. I'm
not the expert. I don't know anything about it.
I'm just not good at sitting there. And so Courtney,
Me
my little
neither. I
daughter-in-law,
hate
has
it.
found this 10-minute color. And I mean, it's so
Oh!
nice. Yes.
What?
Now when we
Takes me
pull
2
it,
hours.
yeah, when we pull it, I have to do it the other way. But that little 10-minute color, it just sits right in, and I love it because I just don't like sitting there. I don't get my
either.
nails done because I don't
look,
like sitting
I don't
there.
like getting my nails done either. I'll get my toes done.
No.
But I
Mhm.
usually have my computer while I'm working. It just drives me insane. I don't have
still wanna
time
sit
for
there.
it. I don't have time to sit there and get my toes and nails done.
Mm-mm. I think
So
of
low
5,000
maintenance.
things. Me too. I think
But
of
not,
5,000
I do
things.
I keep my hair appointment every 8 weeks. Even though
Lord, I do too. I'd be gray.
I don't hate sitting there though, because my BFF's my hairstylist, one of them, and so that's the time her and I catch up.
My
That's the time we
daughter-in-law's
talk.
mine, and I don't like it. I like sitting there.
I know it's so hard, Brenda.
I know.
It's hard for us.
Mm-hmm.
We need to. We're movers and shakers.
I know.
We don't go get our nails done.
No.
If
I
we
don't
went and
like
got our nails done together, that would be terrible.
I know.
What would we do? Just sit there?
I guess. Oh my God, we could do a podcast at the nail
We're just gonna sit there. Okay, we'll talk about real estate and get our nails done. The one right here on the corner, I
Well,
love
how are
him
we
so
going to do
much.
that when the nail people have to sit in front of us? You think she's going to want the back of her head on the camera the whole time? I don't think so.
These ladies over
What
here.
is that ringing?
I don't know what's ringing. Missy's car.
It's got to be.
She's got it on speaker. Anyways, these ladies right here on the corner, I took Stella before Garrett's wedding because I told Stella we have to get our nails done because Stella hates it too. Stella's like, no. And I go, we have to. It's a summer wedding, Stella. We can't look like this.
I know it's bad.
And so we go in there and Stella's like, oh, Mom. I'm like, it's going to be fine. These little ladies right here, they're precious.
That's where we'll have to go.
So we're going to go there and we're going to talk real estate and we're going to get our nails done.
Mhm.
Look
I
at
think
that.
we need to visit different places.
We do.
Yeah,
Totally. Let's go.
like a bar.
Yeah. You have a baby in a bar. We don't have a baby in the bar. We'd never do that.
We wouldn't?
A baby in the bar?
I don't have a baby.
I don't either.
So I
Oh
don't.
my gosh, if I had a baby right now,
Why would we need
would
a
I even
baby
wake
bar?
up in the middle of the night?
Oh God, I'd have to quit taking my melatonin.
I'd be like, is that a baby crying in the middle of the night? I mean, Trip and Stella, like, I have to be like, y'all have to get up. It's school. Like, I have to, like, sound the alarm.
Somebody go get that baby. Make him shut up.
That baby's crying. Hopefully that changes when I have a grandbaby and I have to keep it. Maybe I'm just going to keep the grandbaby right there by me.
That's what I did.
Okay, because I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I didn't wake up? I will.
And they sleep with
I'll
me
have
now,
that
and
little
they spend the
grandbaby right
night. The three of us all cuddled up in the
Don't
bed.
worry, Trip and Stella. The baby will be right there. If not, I'll be here. Bubbles is going to take care of that baby. That's going to be my name, Bubbles.
Is it?
I'm going to Grandma Bubbles' house.
Well, they usually pick your name.
I don't care.
That's the way I was. I was like, you
I
can call
don't
me
care, Brenda.
PPTT. I don't care. Poo-poo. Just call me. But they picked me. More.
Call me.
Are we done?
We're done. Hit subscribe, like, comment, text us, email us. We can be your trusted realtors. We've
That's
got
right.
trusted lenders, whatever you need.
That's
We've got them at Topnotch Realty and Associates.
That's right.
And thank you for listening to.
Thank you. Have a good Christmas if we don't talk to you.
Oh yes, Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Yeah.
And I love Christmas. It's my favorite. Oh my
It
gosh,
is
love,
mine
love, love.
too.
Anyways, but thank you for listening
Thank
to
Top Notch
Tuesdays. Woo! Bye, y'all.